So minus 81 kilograms, men's light heavyweight quarterfinal. Who's going to go through to the next round, the semi-finals, and take on Naya Zimbatov of Kazakhstan? It's Peter Mullenberg of the Netherlands in red, and the Uzbek Oybek Mamazulunov in blue. A couple of good right hands early on by Mamazulunov. Oh, goodness me, putting on some heavy pressure here by Mamazulunov onto Mullenberg. And it looked like he perhaps just rocked him early on there a little bit anyway. And Mullenberg adopting a pretty defensive style. Good left hand there from Mullenberg, countering the attack of Mamazulunov. He's the taller athlete, Mullenberg, by a good few centimeters. Just under a minute to go here. And Mamazulunov, after that pretty ferocious start, you'd expect would be scoring higher. Oh, goodness me, he actually did make contact with him there. Is he going to get a standing 8? No. I think he maybe just tripped over the referee's shoe after he hit him. Good little counter left hand there from Mullenberg. Much more effective punching coming from Mamazulunov, though. Much more power and venom behind each punch. And with this modern style in amateur boxing with no headgear, power and domination are so important. So back to their corners, and Mullenberg chooses not to sit down. He's lost the round, though, as expected. 9-10 after the aggression of Mamazulunov in the early part of that first round. The judges have marked it the way of the Uzbek. Well, there aren't too many Dutch fighters at this championships, and Mullenberg, their great hope for going on to the semi-finals and finals. And right now, he's not looking particularly convincing against Mamazulunov. These two with a very similar world ranking. So we're underway with round two. Peter Mullenberg of the Netherlands in red, Oybek Mamazulunov of Uzbekistan in blue, who has the lead after the first round. A little warning to you, use of the elbow there to Mamazulunov. Nothing really cleanly hitting here. I'm surprised Mullenberg's allowing Mamazulunov to get inside. If anything, it's Mullenberg who's trying to get inside, and he's got a slight reach advantage here. He likes to dust up. There's some blood. It looks like it must be coming from the head of Mamazulunov. And up comes the doctor just to have a check. So we're back underway. Wastes no time here, Mamazulunov. It's only a very small cut. Let's just hope a small cut doesn't turn into a big cut, because if he gets through to the semi-finals, that's not what you want to have. And there's no cut in the world that's going to heal in just 2 days. Launches a couple of bombs there, Mamazulunov. And maybe he's thinking about trying to stop this early. Mullenberg driving in with his head, and yeah, that in the clinch there does deserve a bit of a warning. I wonder whether Mullenberg's spotting that cut and trying to target it now. Certainly appears to have stoked the fire of Mullenberg. He's a different fighter in this round. He's much more aggressive. Flat in his feet, though, compared to Mamazulunov, who just looks that little bit more athletic in everything he does. No, it's not going to be a standing eight, I don't think. Just check the gloves and off we go again. In fact, says to Mullenberg, be careful, don't throw him to the ground. 15 seconds to go, and Mullenberg's done a lot of work in this round. It may well be favorable with the judges, and it's a great flurry of a finish here from Mullenberg, trying to dominate at the end, last second, and a really good round from the Dutchman. Much better. He's woken up to the quarterfinals. How will the judges see it? That's the question. I remember Mamazulunov did quite a bit of work early on in that round. And indeed it goes to Mamazulunov. The early work before that cut, and then a little flash afterwards was enough to take the round over Peter Mullenberg of the Netherlands. Only 10-9s, but that's 2 rounds at 10-9 now. And that means that Peter Mullenberg is going to need something special in the final round. Okay, wait for the bell, says the referee. We're underway. Final round. Peter Mullenberg of the Netherlands in red, up against the Uzbek, Oybek Mamazulunov, who's leading this bout. All 3 judges have seen it. Both rounds go the way of the Uzbek. Who will be joining Naya Zimbatov in the semi-finals of this men's light heavyweight, under 81 kilo class. Just warning him about back of the head shots. Keep your head up, he says to the Dutchman, though. Really using his strength there, Mullenberg, to push him back against the ropes. Got to get off more shots, though. Both men like to get inside. They're not boxing from range. Mullenberg started round 1 boxing like that, trying to use his reach advantage, and it just didn't really suit him, and now he's getting stuck in here. The referee just slapping down Mullenberg's hand there. Can't have it going behind the head. And Mamazulunov just falling over backwards there. There'll be no 8 count for that. There's just over a minute left of this final round. And I think Mullenberg really does appreciate the severity and the importance of turning on something special here. He's trying his very best to get through to Mamazulunov. Careful of the elbow, says the referee. There's just 15 seconds left of round number 3. Mamazulunov, he just needs to hang on now, and he'll almost certainly win this. Mullenberg needs something special, a huge punch, really. Oh, there was an opportunity when he was stumbling, but it was a really good bout. Mullenberg punches the air as he's walking away there, and feels he's done a lot in that last round, but even if he steals it 10-9 off of the Uzbek, it will not be enough to win the bout. So who goes on to meet Naya Zimbatov in the semis? As expected, Mamazulunov, a deserved victor. Good to see that Mullenberg got one judge there in the end, giving him a 10-9. I'm not necessarily sure he deserved the final round, but by a split decision in the final round there, it shows he really was getting busy. But it's the Dutchman who is off to the shower room as Mamazulunov marches on to the semi-finals.